we are expecting a baby. Yay! What's up, guys? We're doing a sit-down content video. Usually we do these in the house with the whole setup and the shebang and all that jazz. But I told Ben just grab the camera, we'll do it in the car. So if you follow us on social media, you already know what this is about. If you do not follow us on social media, you'll see what it's about in the title. We are expecting a baby. Yay! So this video is basically going to be talking about how we found out, how it's going, just everything baby related or pregnancy related.
The sun is kicking up.
Yeah, it looks super exposed right now. Doesn't usually do that, so I don't know what's going on. We haven't used the camera in a while, so bear with us. So we found out we were pregnant in September of 2021. I need to look at the exact date. It was on a Tuesday. So we found out we were pregnant on September 21st, 2021. And how that happened was I had missed a period in August. I think I missed August, and then it was like September, and it was like almost through the end of September. I'm like, okay. Which is not weird per se, because I've skipped before, like many times. But it was a little weird because I hadn't skipped in like a year or so. So that was a little weird. So I decided to text Ben and was like, it's weird that my period didn't come on. And he was like, he like sent me a gift or whatever of like a guy sweating. So I was thinking like, why did you send that? So I was like, so you want me to take a test? And he was like, yes, you should. So I told him what test to pick up. He picked it up, he came home. We went for a walk actually, and we were just talking. We were like, well, if I am pregnant, just talking. I didn't think I was pregnant, but I was like, yeah, if I'm pregnant, we're gonna have to switch rooms, or you're gonna have to give up your main.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Okay, like we only have 3 bedrooms. So we were having that conversation, walking, just talking. We talk about that all the time, just randomly, but this time it was like, if we are, who knows. So we get back in the house, I take the test, and like right away I can see the first line shows up, and then I see a faint second line. I'm like, okay, like the timer didn't go off yet. I already see a faint line, so I was like, let me get out this bathroom. So I stood down. I didn't even tell Ben that I saw like a second line. So I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, okay, maybe it'll go away. So it was very faint. So I was like, maybe that was a mistake. Anyway, the timer goes off. We look at it, and there's a faint line there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the other one. So we take the second test, and the line starts showing up again, and it's a little darker. But I wait until the timer goes off, and I show Ben, and there it is, a dark line. So we're just sitting there and just like, yeah, like confusion. I don't even know. What were you thinking?
I was like, here we go.
I didn't feel like I was pregnant at that time. I just was confused. I was like, it could be a mistake. It could be wrong. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, I don't know if I'm really pregnant. So I was like, should I call mom? Because I don't fully know if I'm pregnant. And he was like, well, just call her. So
she didn't answer.
She didn't answer. We called like twice and she didn't answer. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I was like, I guess the next step is we call the doctor and make an appointment. So I made an appointment Our appointment was that Friday to confirm whether I'm actually pregnant or not. So we go to the appointment on Friday. I'm thinking they're gonna tell me right then and there, because that's what they do in the movies. Like, they tell you like right away, like, yeah, you're pregnant or whatever. But the lady was like, yeah, we're gonna do a blood test and then we'll get back to you. I was like, okay. So leaving there, still feeling a little confused, like a little, I don't know. Like, I think we both felt like, I don't know. We don't know if we're actually pregnant or not. We're just like, okay. So we wait, and well, that day I was like, so do you want to go to mom and dad's? Like, should I tell them? And he was like, well, I guess you can tell your mom. So we went to their house and I showed my mom the box. We put the test in a box, a phone box, like a cell phone box, and basically was like, yeah, here, mom, open this. And she opened it and she's like, what is this, a fake test? And I was like, no. I don't know why she said that. Like, why would we prank her? We've never pranked her before, you know what I mean? Especially something about pregnancy. As much as she wants me to be pregnant, why would I prank her? But anyway, she's like, what is this, a fake pregnancy test? I'm like, no. And then she was like, night and day. Like, at first she was just like chill, and she was like, what is this, fake? As soon as I said no, she like started bawling, crying so hard, and she's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, crying and like hugging me or whatever. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we don't know for sure. We're waiting for the actual like, oh, like, yes, you're pregnant from the doctor. So yeah, so I told her, and she's like over the moon. She doesn't care whatever I just said. She didn't care at all. Because I felt like, well, don't get too excited. You know, that's how I was feeling. I'm like, don't get too excited because we don't know. That's how I felt. So yeah. So then she's like, are you gonna tell your sister? My sister was upstairs. She's like, are you gonna tell your sister? I'm like, I was just gonna tell you. Like, I wasn't trying to tell everybody. She's like, okay. At first she was like, okay. And then she was like, my sister came downstairs and my mom's being all weird. She's like making faces and stuff. I'm like, okay, she's gonna tell her. If I don't tell her, she's gonna tell her. And then she was like looking at me like, are you gonna tell her? So anyway, Ben's like, hey, Taryn, go get that box out of Tanaye's book bag. And she got it and she opened it. And then she was like, just as dramatic as my mom, starts crying. She throws her jacket on the floor, like comes over and hugs me. I'm like, y'all are the most dramatic people. We don't have footage of any of this, and I'm kind of mad because it would have been great footage, but nobody was prepared for like video. Like, it really wasn't planned. We didn't plan to tell anybody or whatever, so it wasn't really thought out. But yeah, so then my dad comes home with my niece, my youngest niece. He got her from school, and then my brother came shortly after that. So they're sitting there, and my mom's like, tell them. So I'm like, okay, gosh, goodness gracious. Like, our intent was kind of just to tell my mom until we fully knew, but she wanted me to tell everybody. So we tell them to get the box. My brother my dad opened it first. He was like, alrighty then. And then my brother opened the box. He was like, yes. Or whatever, like, he's excited. And then Raven's like, what is going on? And they're like, I think my dad told her, it was like, you gonna have a little cousin or whatever. And she didn't really say anything, so I didn't think she understood. I didn't think she like got what he was talking about, but apparently she did, because she almost told her teacher, her old teacher, which is one of my friends, who, you know, we weren't telling friends yet, so Raven was about to tell all our business. But anyway, so everybody pretty much knew at that point, my immediate family. I told my grandmother the next day, and then Ben kind of told his family. So that's how it got out in September. By the time we got to October was Ben's birthday weekend. We went to oh wait, before that.
Well, you see the vlog. We actually got the vlog for like my birthday weekend.
Well, before that, we got the confirmation that Monday that we were pregnant. And that doctor, which is my GYN, was like, you need to find an OB. They deal with like pregnancies and stuff like that. So I didn't even know that. I'm just a newbie. I'm like, okay, so I gotta find another doctor. I thought they was gonna do it. So I found a new doctor, and they wanted to see me, so I set up that appointment. And at that appointment, Actually, I'm wrong. Back up. I'm starting to forget stuff. Before we made that appointment, my GYN said, we're going to set up an appointment just to make sure it's a normal pregnancy. That's the word she used, a normal pregnancy. And we're going to look at you on the ultrasound. So our first ultrasound picture was like at about 8 weeks. I think about 8 weeks. Looked like a little bean, a little jelly bean. That's what the baby looked like. So they confirmed it was a normal pregnancy. That's what she used. Which kind of, her saying, making sure this is a normal pregnancy kind of freaked me out. I was like, what is an abnormal pregnancy?
Did this show us, that one that shows the heartbeat too?
Yes, we saw a little teeny flicker, heartbeat, and we just saw a bean on the screen. That's basically all that was there. So I was like, okay, there's really a growing baby in there. It's like, okay. So that happened. Then, come October, Ben's birthday weekend, and y'all saw the vlog. We were at the harbor. We had dinner with Shanice and Nico. And that's when we told them, and we actually did get some footage of their reaction.
What? No? What?
No.
Oh my god!
You're just as shocked as you got.
Oh my god, I'm so excited! Oh my god, we
That's the
literally
reason why
just jumped. Oh my god.
I know. Yeah. So they were like so excited because they just had a baby. They had just had a baby like that previous year. Yeah. Yeah, they had a baby in 2020. So they were excited. They were just shocked. They were like, oh my gosh. So they were the first outside of our family to know. Then that like a few weekends later, I think it was either next week or the weekend after that, is when it was my birthday and I had dinner with my friends. Y'all also saw that on the vlog. But that is when I told them that we were pregnant. And I showed them the sticks, and we have video of that. So
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Thank you. So at this point, close friends and family know on both of our sides, only close friends and family. Come November is when we announced to
Mini photo shoot.
Yeah, we did his brother took pictures. His brother took pictures of us so we could do a little small announcement or whatever.
Did it on Thanksgiving.
But before we announced, we actually got another ultrasound with my OB because I had to find an OB. So they gave us another ultrasound. So I think I was about 10 weeks there for that ultrasound, and then we announced that 12 weeks. It was in November. It was right before. It was actually on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day. So we were like thankful for this. Yeah. So everybody knew by the time we hit November. The cat was out the bag. Yeah, and that's basically how we told everybody. That's the story. So right now we are at the end of the pregnancy. I'm 9 months. We're due next Friday. Today is Thursday. We're due next Friday, the 27th. You think it went fast, or?
Well, it's no longer a jelly bean.
Right. I just remember looking at that little jelly bean on the screen with the little teeny flicker of a heartbeat. It's like now we've had 2 more ultrasounds. We had our 20 week when they check everything, the anatomy scan, and then we had one at 35 weeks because the baby was breached during the 20 week ultrasound, so they wanted to check further down to make sure that the baby still wasn't breached. So we have a 35-week ultrasound as well. And all of those ultrasounds are in the refrigerator. Like, I just stare at them sometimes. It's still so surreal. It doesn't feel real to me. For some reason, it just, even though I can feel the baby, I can, I hear the heartbeat every time I go to the doctor. I just can't believe it for some reason. But, I think the pregnancy...
I can believe it.
You can believe it?
Well, Rascal took my man cave.
Yeah, we did the whole nursery. We pretty much did that pretty early on. Like, I would say I had, what do they call it? Nesting fairly early in the pregnancy. Like, I was like 6 or 7 months, and I was like, I gotta get all this done. Now, I feel like most people have nesting like at the end. I have 0 nesting right now. I don't have the energy. Like, I didn't get that burst of energy at the end, like, I gotta clean.
Well, now we want to clean the rest of the house, but the nursery's
100% done.
Like, just carpet, shampoo, all that. So
Like,
it's just the rest of the house. We gotta clean the outside of the house when the baby comes, because they know. They know if the house is not clean or not.
I can feel it. Like, I told my friends, like, she gonna come home and be like, this is it? Oh. It's nasty in here. But anyway.
I'll make sure the grass is cut, for her arrival.
But yeah, so at this point, we're just getting ready for baby. I think the pregnancy went pretty well. For the most part, I wasn't sick. The first trimester, I did have some nausea, and I had to, like, eat all the time. Like, have a snack by the bed, like, stuff like that, or I would feel nauseous. But other than that, like, I was never sick to the point where I had to throw up. So that was pretty much my first trimester, and I had some, like, ligament pain. Other than that,
no gestational diabetes and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the second trimester is when they check for gestational diabetes. I did have to do the 3-hour test because I was, like, right at the line, but I passed that with flying colors, so I didn't have gestational diabetes. There was no complications with the pregnancy, thank God. And we're at the end now. I felt good for the most part. I felt good. I think it's just at this point it's heavy and there's a lot of pain, a lot of pelvic pressure, a lot of ligament pain and stuff like that. And I don't feel like myself. I think that's probably the hardest part, is that I don't feel like I look like myself, and I don't feel like I feel like myself. That's probably the hardest part of pregnancy for me. But the other stuff I did not have, so you could say I had an easy pregnancy. Because I don't have a whole bunch to complain about. I mean, I have stuff to complain about, trust, but compared to other things I've heard, I don't have much to complain about. What else?
I don't know.
How are you feeling? You feel like you're ready for this baby?
I'm ready for the baby to be on the outside. For you guys that don't know, well, I guess we had the gender reveal too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's a girl.
Yeah.
So for y'all who don't know, she's grounded as soon as she enters the world. For my man cave and for other things as well. But
he put her on punishment already because he's mad about his man cave.
So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for her to be outside the womb, so phase 2 can begin.
Parenting?
Yes. And phase 2 never ends. So
literally,
parenting never ends. No matter if they're 50 years old, you're still a parent, and you still
ever be her parent.
Yeah. So, but just waiting for that part. I have no doubt we'll be wonderful parents. Not perfect, but wonderful.
I hope so. I be wondering sometimes. I'm like, everybody says that, but I'm like, how do you really know? Like, we're good with kids, sure. We work well together when we watch kids, but we're just watching them. Like, they
confidence.
go home. But I'm saying, they go home after, like, we be tired and they get to go home. Now we gonna be tired and the baby's still gonna be there.
That's life.
I'm just saying, how do you know? People keep telling us, like, y'all gonna be great parents. I'm like, how do you know that, though? I don't know.
I have no doubt.
That's the stuff I think about. I don't know. That's how I think. Do we really know?
Tanaye thinks too much not to be a good parent.
I overthink everything. I don't know.
And I'm just good at everything, so.
Anyway.
Let's just be frank here. And we have the Lord on our side.
Look,
Hallelujah.
I know.
And people that are good with, we got, resources to lean on. And, it takes a village, as they say. So we have a pretty good village.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, so we literally can go any day now. At this point, we're literally just.
Hello, brethren.
He's waving at some goats on the side of the road. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm overworking. You can get to the
I'm
end.
not pregnant, but I'm working like a slave. She's still working, and she's over it.
I'm working up until I have this baby, so it is getting difficult. But thank God I work from home. That has been a blessing throughout this pregnancy. Oh my goodness. The pandemic definitely sucks, and
It's like
we
a
weren't.
blessing in disguise.
That's the blessing part
The
of it,
blessing
because
part of the
a
pandemic.
lot of terrible things happen, and I told my mom, I was like, I felt like, why now? Why would we get pregnant right now? It's like, oh gosh.
That's the blessing part of the pandemic, and we didn't get COVID either. We never got it. The whole pandemic,
We haven't been sick.
You know.
But yeah, so I just, with everything happening, it's kind of like, why would I get pregnant right now? Like, the whole job situation, like Ben's job and everything, just stuff happened, and it's just like, in my mind, I don't feel like this is the time. But, God knows what he's doing. I think me and Ben always said, like, if it's not meant for us to be parents, then please don't let us be parents. Like, that's how we've always felt.
Even then, like, at the beginning of the pregnancy, like, my job situation was, it was rocky, to say the least. I mean, we paid our bills regardless, but, I had 2 part-time jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then, ended up having a full-time job and a part-time job. Like, so, I'm working 6 days a week, so I can't complain. Be tired, but being tired, you're just training for a child. You're gonna be tired. So,
This is not the ideal situation I wanted to.
Yeah, it's a tad bit more stability than when we first were pregnant. So, we're just gonna trust the Lord, and we're gonna keep adding on to that. And be like you say, it's not the ideal situation, but I feel like, we made plans, God laughs and keeps moving.
I really don't think. I don't think.
Well, we didn't plan.
Were part of our plan.
Yeah.
It was kind of always like, well.
But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Like, you were already saying if we get pregnant, we get pregnant. If we don't, we don't. We're okay with not having kids. So at that point, you saying, no, that's not your ideal situation. There's no ideal situation. I feel like because we weren't planning to have a child.
We weren't, but
So,
I always feel like, if we had one, I didn't want to be living in an apartment, which we're not.
Well,
So that's part of my ideal situation. So God did that part. I just felt like it would be a little different, like financially, just different things. And
we got time, Lord willing, and we can make it different before the baby knows what's really going on.
Whatever. Babies are expensive, man.
I mean, yeah, that's just a given.
It really hits you when, like, during this time, and it's like crazy. Healthcare, like American healthcare is trash. It's just all these things that are just coming, it's just a lot. So, I think sometimes people might take having kids really lightly. It's no joke. And we didn't even birth her yet, and it's just still like, oh my gosh, this is huge. This is such a huge change in our life.
That's why when she get older and she thinks she's getting smart, I'm gonna be like, man, well, pay this bill or pay that bill. Like, how much you cost?
It starts really early. Like, she's not even here yet, and she already costs a lot of money. So I'm like, kids are expensive.
What Major Payne say? She's gonna be 5 years old with a full-time job.
She's not. But anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much our pregnancy story so far. We will be showing you all the nursery. Her name will be announced at birth. So the nursery video will come out after she's born.
Because she has a
Because her name is on the wall.
name on the wall.
Yes. But y'all will be seeing the nursery. We will get back to vlogging. We have been slacking with everything. Clearly because there's so much going on right now, as y'all can see.
We had to get some things together.
It's a lot going. It's been a lot. A whole lot. You see we have her little car seat and her little mirror in here. We're pretty much ready.
Yeah. Everybody blessed us with the nursery.
Y'all, the baby shower was amazing. I had two. One from like my friend, for friends and family in church.
Our job through
A drive-through, and then my job threw us one virtually. So it just, you know, God really came through with we didn't really have to buy anything for the baby, thank God. So he's been working it out, you know. So yeah, that's what's going on. She is already blessed. We have been praying and we're just waiting for her arrival. So if y'all have any questions, leave them below. We will be getting back to vlogging. Y'all will get to see her when she's born and all that jazz. So stay tuned. We hopefully are back. We'll see how I feel after this baby comes out, but we are trying to get back to being on camera and vlogging and doing all that stuff for you guys. So thanks for watching this probably long video. I don't know how long the video is going to be, but hopefully you enjoyed us talking about this milestone we're going through now. We can't wait to update you on more things when she's born in a few days or whenever she decides to come. Yeah, so thanks guys for listening, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.